Welcome back to Next Top Singer. We are still in the casting round. Please watch episode 1 for an introduction. Auditions may still be open, so please check the description for updated information. To make it in, you have to get a yes signal from at least 2 of the judges. 2 no signals means you are out. If you make it in, please read the description for instructions, and don't forget to confirm your role.
Don't panic, don't jump ship, can't fight it like taxes. At least it happens only once in your life. They're singing happy birthday, you just want to lay down and cry. Not just another birthday, it's 39 day. Why can't you stay 29? Hell, you still feel like you're 22. Turn 30, 99 day, bang, you're dead. What can you do? What can you do? What can you do?
There were a lot of talk singing in this, so I can't tell your abilities to sing in pitch. You have good projection, but there was also some strain. I liked the run in the end, but I didn't enjoy it overall, so it's gonna be a no.
The song has been pretty popular thanks to Andrew Garfield, you know, with his big performance and his Oscar-winning performance. I think it's one of those, though, with this song, you have to have a pretty damn sharp tempo. It has to be really on point. I think this was kind of muddled. I don't think the timing was perfect. You have to really listen to the song. I mean, if you listen to this performance and you listen to the actual song side by side, you could kind of hear how the version was. I mean, you have to, it's hard to explain unless you really know the song really well, but the timing was just kind of off. It just wasn't clean. It just wasn't the right song. There were some moments in here where I think you've got a good voice. I don't think you had the song down enough for the audition. You would have been better off picking a different song or really, really tightening this song up before recording it.
Another fairly straightforward no from me. The username gave me some concerns to begin with, and if you're going to go for a musical theatre route, then even if the performance aspect isn't there, the one thing that you really have to have nailed is the timing, and the understanding of that just wasn't there in this, and the whole thing ended up falling flat for me, so it's a 2 and a pretty easy pass.
I feel alone here and cold here, though I don't wanna die. But the only anesthetic that makes me feel anything kills inside. I do not wanna be afraid. And I do not wanna die inside just to breathe in. And I'm tired of feeling so numb. Relief exists, I find it when I am cut.
I wasn't a fan of the song choice. You have a lovely voice, but I just don't think this did anything really to showcase it for you. This is another one where I was kind of on the fence leaning towards no. So you boys duke it out. Tell me why I should lean towards yes.
Interesting.
Duke it out why we should lean you towards yes. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll try. It's a yes from me. It was a scraped yes. My big issue is it's very one-dimensional, and the thing that's going to be the difference maker going into round 2 is whether you can project and add power to anything, or if this is the amount of power and dynamic that we're going to get. So I'm interested to see, and I'm interested to find out, and I'm throwing that gauntlet out there, but it could go one of 2 ways.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, to me, Hannah, you have a pretty and light, airy voice, but I didn't get a great idea of your dynamics since there is none. So you need to show more next time, like the other judges said too, but you will be good for the ethereal ethereal and breathy stuff. So I still hear some potential in your voice.
Okay, then I'm going to be the mean one, and I'm going to put a fire under your feet and tell you that you got to bring it next time. I'm going to be the one that says no. Prove me wrong next time, so.
Oh, you weren't a pushover this time.
Yeah.
Plot twist.
No, yeah, there you go.
No, she's just gonna get discouraged. That usually happens.
No, not necessarily, because she got 2 yeses. So I'm only one no, so she's got to prove me
Anything can
wrong.
happen in this competition, Hannah. Keep that in mind.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. We can be very unexpected sometimes. Just look at last season.
You think you own whatever land you land on. The earth is just a dead thing you can claim. But I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. You think the only people who are people are the people who look and think like you. But if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you'll learn things you never knew. Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon, or asked a grinning bobcat why he grinned? Can you sing with all the voices of the mountain? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? My name's Rita-Mae Samuels. I'm 27.
Rita-Mae Samuels. So, just because her part is soft doesn't mean that it isn't complex as well. And this needs a lot of movement and soul that just isn't in it. It's kind of, I've got to sing soft, so I'm going to do that. And that's it. And it ended up being quite limited in that front. And there were technical flaws in it as well. So, it's going to be a no from me, 2.5.
Okay, well, Rita-Mae, this song actually means a lot to me, and you didn't really do it justice. You have a bad mic, a bad pitch, but you have an amazing vibrato and tone, so I was quite confused about this actually. I'm very skeptical if this is going to work, but when in doubt, I always say yes, because you can prove next time out if that was a good decision or not. But you need to be on point in all areas next time pretty much though. So you should use the mentors for guidance and the tips document that was provided. I wonder if you are tone deaf actually, and that can be very hard to overcome, but don't give up because you definitely have something. I gave this a yes and a 4.5. So you're right on the edge. Let's see if Andrea is going to be Paula Abdul or pretty much the new Simon Cowell. Let's see.
I'm going to be the new Simon Cowell. I'm sorry, Rita. I have to say no. There's a very nice voice there. I do think you have a very nice voice, but I didn't even recognize the song. I think there were like 2 accurate notes the whole entire song. I mean, I've heard of making a song your own, but at the same time, you almost got to recognize the song sometimes. Some of the notes were just not even close. I mean, like I said, there were some notes that I could hear there was something, but then there were some notes that were just so off that I don't know where you were going. Maybe you just don't know the song, or if you just got nervous because you didn't have music to sing with. Because I know a cappella can be hard for some people. Like a lot of people just do better with music. And that's something that can come with a little training. I would like you to take a little time to really kind of work with that. I don't know if you have like a teacher that you can work with, like a vocal trainer, or if maybe you could look up YouTube videos and maybe just work on it for a little while and try again next season if we have another season. I just don't think that you are quite ready right now. I think it might be the nerves that got the best of you right now, but I just have to say no right now.
Yeah, I mean, the pitch was a 1, but I said yes just because of the vibrato and the tone.
I don't necessarily know about being tone deaf, but there might be some performance anxiety. There could be some issues with being able to sing a cappella. Maybe there is some issues with tonality. I just think that she needs to go and do a little bit of work and then come back. I just don't want to set her up to fail this season, and I don't think she's anywhere near ready because that song was not even recognizable.
Yeah, and when I say tone deaf, I mean that they can't even hear that they're going off pitch. Because if she did hear that, then why did she submit that? Because that was so far off in pitch.
Hello, I'm Chantel Marie. I'm 15 years old and I will be singing Love by Keyshia. And I can't believe you're hurting me. I met your girl, what a difference. What you see in her, you ain't seeing me. But I guess it was all just make-believe. Oh, love, I never knew what I was missing. Oh, but I knew once we start kissing, I found love. I never knew what I was missing. Oh, but I knew once we start kissing, I found you.
Chantel Marie, I nearly fell off my chair with those riffs and runs. I was blown away by that actually. And you're only 15. I mean, you're gonna be unstoppable when you learn to belt and use more dynamics and range in your singing. You're gonna be great for R&B and pop. You're very modern, and I gave this an 8.5.
Okay. I really didn't have anything written down except excellent voice, and I gave an 8.5, which is the highest score that I have given so far, and it's the only 8.5 I have given, so...
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, and of course, there's
Here we go.
Denmark.
Uh-oh. No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's going to be a yes. So let's stop me getting my head ripped off. My notes on this
I was
one...
going to otherwise.
No, it's fine. There's no problem here. I like a lot of the elements that are coming here. It sounds very head voicey at times when you should be really ripping into this one. And I know Petri likes the runs. For me, I feel like they would pop if you were, really going for those rather than being so head voicey. But who knows? And that's something that can come later on. And clearly we are coming at this from different sides of the fence. And I can absolutely be won over, but a very strong yes.
And by the way, I see that you have changed your scoring system a little bit, Mark, because I see a 6.5, and that has never happened in last season's casting, so interesting.
It may or may not go bigger than that.
Ooh.
Spoiler.
Ooh.
Now I'm very intrigued.
All right.
So let's just move on. I gotta find out.
All right.
So dress me in red and throw your roses, and I'll wrangle the beast with words. It's a graceless dance of epithets. We've learned to make someone hurt. They will consume your sweet resistance, and they'll carry your heart in their teeth. And I am always feeding them the ugliest parts of me. All of the words I've swallowed, all of the sharp things I've kept in my mouth. I am always bleeding out.
Okay, so Wilhelmina Marie, I think, is that how it's pronounced? Wilhelmina?
Chantel's
Marie?
sister.
Oh,
No, I'm
yay.
kidding. I don't know. But it's the
All right,
same
Wilhelmina
name.
Marie.
Marie.
Same second name, Marie.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. I think it's a very nice, interesting voice. I think there were some really interesting transitions that were, I just think it's very interesting. That's the word that I just kept popping up into my head every time. Like, that was really interesting. Well, that was interesting. I mean, every time I listened to it, I played it back a couple times, and interesting was a word that popped up many times. I think this is something that I definitely want to hear again.
The dynamics are very spiky for me. They could be smoothed out, and you're rushing in a few spots, but you're definitely very workable as well. So a pretty comfortable yes.
Yeah, Wilhelmina, or is it Wilhelmina? I don't know. Do you guys know?
In America, I would just hear it's a Wilhelmina. Like, I have a friend whose name is Wilhelmina, and we call her Willie. But I mean, in other countries, it could be Wilhelmina. So I mean, it depends.
Yeah, I don't know where she's from, so I'm just gonna go with Wilhelmina then. Nice control, a good strong voice. I like the sudden switch between your chest and head voice. Have you tried yodeling? Because it sounds like you could really do well with that if you train that. You sound very confident, and that is awesome. I gave this an 8.5, just like your sister. If that is your sister. No, probably not.
Call my doctor, call my lawyer, call my brother, call my priest. There's paperwork to fill out, 'cause a dead man walks the streets. 'Cause my sister has a best friend that I've known since I was 3. And now I'm gonna get strangled, 'cause we tangled in the sheets. My homie's like a dead man walking. My homie's like you a dead man walking. Beautiful family friend is she. Da 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 da, almost a decade older than me. And I've been gone for quite a while overseas. Yeah, and she's been living up in Albany.
This is a yes from me and a 5. I like the tone. The dynamic is very similar throughout, so a little more variety and a little more movement would be good in the later round, but strong stuff.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but Nathan actually reminds me a bit of Tristan from last season. He was one of our top 3. What do you think?
Wipe my eyes, dry my tears, wait for you for 1,000 years.
Actually, that was a note that I made, was kind of reminded me a little bit.
Yeah, twinsies. Yeah. But actually, Nathan, I think that you have a better first audition than he did. You have a very smooth and pleasant voice, and that characteristic nasality in your voice. If you can bring dynamics in your voice, then you really have something special here. Maybe look into Phil Collins. I mean, that is my go-to when it comes to nasal artists, but there are many others, I'm sure. Just as a little advice here.
Okay, I really don't have anything else to add. I just said yes and a 7.
Hey kids, shake it loose together. The spotlight's hitting something that's been known to change the weather. We'll kill the fatted calf tonight, so stick around. You're gonna hear electric music, solid walls of sound. Say Kenny and Ronnie, haven't seen them yet. Oh, but they're so spaced out. Bennie and the Jets. Oh, but the weird and the wonderful. Oh, Bennie, she's a really keen. You got electric boots, my hair suit. You know we're ready in a magazine. Bennie and the Jets.
This was a bit shrill and whiny, but that falsetto was very interesting to me. And you have a super fast vibrato, so I do want to hear more. I kind of want to hear you sing In the Jungle, to be honest. Maybe not for this competition, but I think that would suit you.
Christopher, I hear something really interesting in your voice. That's pretty much all I wrote, is this. I hear something interesting in the voice, and then I just left it at 6 and a yes, so I guess that's all I said. It was getting very late last night when I started getting towards the high 20s.
So it's a bit over the top in terms of the energy, a little bit showy, but again, there's warmth and tone that's useful and a really nice high note in there as well. So it's going to be another yes from me.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm 17 and I'm going to be auditioning with You Oughta Know, but the version from the musical Jagged Little Pills. 'Cause the joke that you laid in the bed, that was me, and I'm not gonna fade as soon as you close your eyes. And you know it, and you know, and every time I scratch my nails down someone else's back, I hope you feel it. Well, can you feel it? And I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away. It's not fair to deny me of the cross I bear that you gave to me. You oughta know. And I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away. It's not fair to deny me of the cross I bear that you gave to me. You oughta know. Thank you.
Now it's Andrea with Holly. And it's a musical, so it's gonna be interesting to hear the musical theater actress's take on this.
All right. Well, interesting enough, I can honestly say I've never heard of or seen the Jagged Little Pill musical. And I don't know if it was meant to sound that off key in the beginning. It just didn't sound right to me. I don't know. It's not exactly a great audition song, if we're just being perfectly honest, whether it was the Jagged Little Pill musical or whether it was Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette. It's just not a great audition song. It's just not, I don't know. I hear something in the voice that the song just didn't show for me. And I was really on the fence with this one. And I gave a 5. And I thought I was going to let you guys battle it out for me. So, Mark, make your case.
Okay, this is the strongest no in the whole of this batch of 50. I had to find the musical version to see if the build-up had been rushed that heavily for a reason. No, the timing is just that far off. And you know what I'm like on timing. I'm a real stickler for it. And that was just beyond, no, I can't.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought that was going to be the mean one here. No, you're gonna. I feel a bit better about myself with what I'm gonna say, to be honest. Because Holly, I think. Because Holly, I think it's the same as the last one. I found this quite shrill and whiny, actually. And you said you were in a choir, and I call this choir syndrome. Often when you're in the background, you can get away with less than perfect technique, but when you're in the foreground, it becomes less forgiving. It was this continuous head voice that was not very clean, and that's a pet peeve of mine. It was the same range the entire time too. It was a very repetitive song. It was the same notes over and over. So you really need a better song choice, like Andrea said too, to show some different vocal registers. If you can only do this classical style, then you're not very versatile for this competition either. I'm not doing this to be mean, unlike Mark, because I know you have passion for this. You can get there with training, but I had too many yeses, so I can only say yes to the ones that I enjoyed.
Yeah, I'm not going to be as mean as them. I do hear something in your voice. I really do. But Jagged Little Pill, the musical, Jagged Little Pill, Alanis Morissette, it's not an audition piece. It's just not. Even if it were, it just wasn't on key. It just wasn't on time. It just wasn't there. I'm sorry, it's a no. But I gave you a 5, so at least I gave you better than the guys did. So try again next season, but try something that's a little bit more of an audition song. Just try something, maybe a ballad, a power song, but something that has an actual rhythm to it, an actual tempo to it. Just try something that's a little bit different, but I'm sorry.
Ooh, Kenny Roney, have you seen him yet? Oh, but they're so spaced out. Bennie and the Jets. Oh, they're so weird and they're wonderful. Oh, Bennie, she's so really keen. She's got leather boots, a mohair suit. You know, I read it in a magazine. Oh, Bennie and the Jets. Bennie and the Jets.
Toastie is wild on pitch and timing, and it's definitely worth investing in the pop filter so we don't have to hear the hiss. That would be nice. It's 2 and it's a no.
Okay, well, I was actually kind of on the fence about this one, so I would be interesting to hear what Andrew has to say before I cast my vote. But I mean, whenever you sing the lower notes, it sounds cleaner than when you're going higher. I think your falsetto sounds quite grainy, which suggests that this is out of your range. So song choice really matters. So what does Andrew have to say? I gave this a 4.5, which is kind of my middle score, which can go either way, so.
Well, y'all know that nothing annoys me more than having a full minute and not utilizing it. But I still think there might be something there to work with here. I think there's something that I can dig deep down and pull out. I'm really on the fence with it myself. I gave a 6, which is my usual yes. I kind of want to hear a little bit more. So I'm going to be nice right now because I gave a lot of no's in a row. So I'm saying yes to this one.
And just because I think that Mark is way too harsh on timing in this stage, then I'm gonna give it a yes to balance it out.
You think you own whatever land you land on. The earth is just a dead thing you can claim. But I know every rock and a tree and a creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. You think the only people who are people are the people who look and think like you. But if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you'll learn things you never knew. Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon, or asked the grinning bobcat why he grinned? Can you sing with all the voices of the mountain? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
Ooh, and I'm first on Kayla. Yay! Okay, so Kayla, I think you have an absolutely incredible voice. It was wonderful. I really felt like your vocals were in this elegant dance, like a ballet or something. You have a nice resonance in your voice, and that heavy swinging vibrato shows a healthy technique is being utilized. You said you sing in various styles, so it's gonna be interesting to see how versatile you can be, because many musical theater voices aren't that versatile in my experience. I heard you go flat in a couple of places, but nothing major. This is my highest score so far, actually. I gave this a 9.
Okay.
Well, like I said, this song means a lot to me, so that may have something to do with it, so I'm going to be interesting to hear what you have to say.
Okay. Now, this sounds like Colors of the Wind. This is what it's supposed to sound like. Again, it's very well done. My concern, again, though, like with every musical theater voice, is are they versatile? Whenever you have something that's so strong and so beautiful, but so musical theater is, can they come out of that musical theater range? But I am definitely wanting to give it a try because this voice is so beautiful. I gave this an 8.
Big scores. Okay, so it's going to be a yes from...
But it's Mark.
It is, yeah. Okay, so it's going to be yes from me, and my scoring is lower because that's just how this thing goes.
Mark.
But some nice vibrato and some lovely sustain on these notes as well. You showed us you've got the middle and you've got the big. This song does give you the chance to show a bit more softness, which we didn't really get, and that's maybe what was not missing for me as such, but something I would have liked to have seen a little more of. But yeah, it's a very strong yes.
At least it's a strong yes, but it's not a 9. Damn it.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more auditions in the next episode. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.